You're listening to Player Development, a channel focused on the intersection of sports and character growth. Please like and subscribe to support the stories being shared, the growth of our listeners, and to stay up to date with our latest content.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Isaac Spiker. Isaiah Day at Player Development asked that I put together a short video of a drill or a skill that you can use to help your players develop in one way or the other. Unfortunately, it has been raining in northern Kentucky here just south of Cincinnati for almost 2 weeks now. Been stuck inside for a while, so I'm going a little stir crazy, but that's okay. But I wanted to do something that we could do inside. So this is not a physical training drill. This is not even an individual training drill. This is something specifically to be used as part of team cohesion with your group. Coaches, this is a drill that I've used at least twice a year with every team that I've head coached. I've had several teams where I've been the assistant coach with, but this is specifically something I do as the leader and the head coach. But players, this is also something that you can do, especially captains, getting your players together for player-only meetings, specifically to work on your communication, your unity with each other. When I was interviewed by Isaiah Day here at Player Development, one of the things I kept harping on, part of my coaching philosophy is that unity should be the backbone of every team. That you should be focusing and striving for unity on your team and trusting that winning will follow, not the other way around. And one way that you need to foster unity is you have to communicate. You have to be able to open your mouth. You have to be able to communicate information and receive information. And that's what this drill works on. So this drill is called circle time. It is just as cheesy as it sounds. It is awkward at times. But again, this is something that's been really helpful for me and the players that I've coached to work on communication, to work on vulnerability and being able to open up to each other, to trust each other. So this is called circle time. I learned this from the first guy who I ever coached under, Kyle Taylor, who is now the head coach at Salt Lake Community College, one of the biggest and best JUCOs in the country. And then this is also a part of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes three-dimensional course. So I didn't come up with this. I didn't just concoct this up in my brain, but it is something that's been very helpful. So basically what you'll do in this is you're going to get your whole team together. Again, this is something to be done in a group, not by yourself, and not in a text thread. This is specifically to be done in person. So you get your team in a group, big circle. You might have 15 players, you might have more. But every player will take one turn at a time sitting in the center of that circle. And all of the players on the perimeter will, one at a time, have to make direct eye contact with the player in the middle and say something that they greatly appreciate about the way they play the game, and then something they greatly appreciate about who they are off the court or the field. And then after they communicate everything, the person in the middle basically just has to nod, thank them, recognize what they said to them, and then you move to the next player. So for example, this way that this will kind of look like is if Isaiah Day at Player Development was one of my high school basketball teammates. I'm a teammate of his. We're both in high school. We play, I don't know, whatever state you want to play in. Let's say it's Isaiah's turn to be in the middle here. Isaiah goes from the perimeter. He sits in the middle, and it's my turn to say something about him. I had to say something very specific, looking him in the eye. And coaches, you really gotta watch your players because they're gonna want to look elsewhere. They're not used to directly making eye contact, being specific with their information directly to a person. So really harp on this communication and this connection to the eyes while they say what they say. But I would say something along the lines of, Isaiah, I really appreciate the way that when you're playing the game, you leave it all on the floor. You don't leave a shred of effort or energy to bring home. When you are on, you are 100% locked in and 100 miles an hour. He would nod, he would say thank you, and we'd move on to that next player. It can seem awkward. I'm telling you guys, it will seem awkward at times. The first couple people that go, there's going to be these weird looks around the room, and it's going to feel just kind of unsettled. You're going to have some people laughing awkwardly. But as you seep into it a little bit more, it gets more genuine, it gets more real, it gets more specific. And the person in the middle gets used to hearing over and over again what his teammates see in him, what the positive things they see about this person on the court, off the court. But also the people on the perimeter, you have to be vulnerable and directly make eye contact with this person and tell them what you appreciate about them. You have to think about it, and then you have to tell them specifically what you appreciate. And again, it can be awkward, but it can be very, very good for the connection of these two teammates. And it also gets very specific when coach, you need to be involved in it. As a coach, you tell the players specifically what you love about them on the court and off the court. Sometimes being vulnerable and being appreciative and communicating that is the most effective way to communicate the importance of unity and love in your program. I am a firm believer that communication is a skill. Some people will be better at it than others, just like shooting, ball handling, defensive footwork, fill in the blank. But communication is a skill that you have to work on to get good at it, and anybody can be good at it. Strive for unity. Winning will follow. But in order to be united, you got to communicate. And this is something that's really helped me a lot over the years, even though it's awkward at times. If I can ever be a help to anybody, feel free to reach out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Isaac Spiker. Thanks.